we do windbreaks in the winter as opposed to wrapping in insulation, because we found that hey guys, give me just a second. I totally pressed start before I was ready to actually talk to you, so hang out for just a moment. But in the wintertime, instead of doing wraps, because we have found that will trap moisture in in a lot of cases, so instead we just block the wind and we trust the bees to provide their own insulation, or provide their own heat.
Right,
and so that post hole that I just about broke my ankle, for y'all listening in. I just about broke my ankle on a hole here. That's just from one of our old posts that we didn't quite fill in. Anyway, hey guys, welcome to my Facebook Live today. I'm here again with Derek. We are going into his hive. Now, I agreed to come out and just kind of hang out with him. So I'm not really quite dressed for the occasion, but y'all all know me. That's really not going to stop me from going into the hive. Anyway, so we're here today. You were with us in some of our other videos. I've posted some clips of that onto TikTok as well. It's on my YouTube page, so please get over there, like it, and subscribe to it. And so he put the queen in. It's been now a little over a week.
Today's 9.
Today is day 9. And so the last time he was in, he saw the queen, but he did not see any egg. And so today we're going through and we're going to look for evidence, not just of the queen. Like if we see her, that's great. But what we really need to see is that she's actually in there laying eggs and getting prepared for the winter that's on its way. If not, then we have to, Derek has to make a decision about what he's going to do, whether he's going to try to keep this queen and hope for the best, or if he's going to go ahead and order a replacement. So that's what we're here to do today. I'm going to go ahead and flip this around and we'll get started.
They have not touched.
When did you put that syrup in though?
5 days ago.
Oh, well, they may not need it. I mean, we'll get it. We're about to find out. They also may not be able to get to it. Those holes are kind of small. Actually, a couple of them aren't even punched through, Derek.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you may want to just reevaluate those holes.
Okay.
What you looking?
Just to make sure there's nothing in there.
Oh yeah.
Just make sure the queen on top or not.
Man. Oh, here, I'll be your smoker. Now, in this, as we're working, for those of you watching, we are looking for egg, larva. We put her in the base down here, right?
Yes.
Stupid beetles. We just went through yesterday and we like doubled up on all of our beetle traps.
I doubled up on most of them.
In the supers that had a beetle trap already, we hardly saw any beetles. But you'll remember that we put them like down below, and then we didn't put any up top. Right. Well, all the beetles were up in the top, of course. Right. So we went through and we were like, screw this stuff.
Yeah.
And we just beetle trapped the crap out of it.
Hope she's not on that bottom. What's the chances? If so, she'll run up in here, right?
Unless you just smashed her. I'm kidding.
Now, she was here.
Okay.
5 days ago. Man, these beetles.
Yeah. Pull out one of your traps. Let's see what they look like in there.
Just knocked one down.
Good.
You know, there's beetles in there.
There's a bunch in there? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I would just start like right here on that labeled frame, because usually she will lay in the center and then work her way out. Yep. Nectar. Oh, I'm seeing capped.
That's new.
The new cat.
That's
the cap.
new. Yeah.
Okay.
That's new. That wasn't there.
Well, that just means that when you were here the other day looking, you just didn't quite see the You might not have pulled that frame out or whatever.
I was blinded and didn't see it.
It happens. All right, I'm gonna pull this out.
They chewed this queen cup up.
Good.
Right here.
Oh yeah, that's good. Oh, you got larvae. You got larvae all in there.
There's another queen cell chewed up. Maybe that may have been breech comb. Sweet,
Yep.
that's what we need to see.
That's what we wanted to see.
Yeah, see if she's laying.
All right.
That's all we need to see.
She is definitely laying. You've got young larvae in there. You've got capped brood in the center. She's got a great laying pattern. Yeah, that's exactly.
Lots of honey in that bottom box, it looks like.
Yeah, honestly, man, I would take the food off. I think. For now.
Because that's all this hive had to do.
Yes.
Bring food in.
Is bring food in. That's right. And then yours went right there.
You see down in these two frames next to this one?
No. I
What
would.
do you need to see?
That.
Okay, I'm clicking.
Yeah, that comb just down at the bottom was pressed up against.
See, it looks like to me, honey.
Pull one out.
Honey.
Those of you watching, y'all wouldn't mind watching some more frames come out, right?
What about? Let's start.
Start right there. I mean, especially if you're not worried about it having comb or queen. I mean, honey or queen. No, brood or queen. Good grief. So I watched, I reposted on TikTok a clip from the video that we did the other day when we were talking about your VSH queens.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard myself, I kept calling her the VHS queen. And so, you know, like we're sitting home watching cassette tapes from Blockbuster or something. Bee bread, yeah,
but
and
there's
pollen.
Still room. There's still lots of room on there, right?
Queen cup, watch out. Yeah, it's just a cup.
There's still lots of room.
Yeah, there's still plenty of room. But
that right there is almost. No. Yeah, there's still a lot of honey.
And based on your weight on the medium super here, hey Angie, based on your weight on the medium super, I don't know that I would worry about any more food right now, simply because you have so much, and you definitely don't want them to get honey bound.
Okay.
So I think at least here she's fine.
Okay. Gotcha. Alrighty. We should. That's basically what we need to see.
Yeah,
here.
that's what we wanted to see.
There's not a lot of bees on the ground.
All right, so at the beginning of the video, if you haven't seen it yet, you can go back and watch it. If you're just joining us now, at the beginning of the video, we were able to pull out, it was the second frame, the frame that I pulled out. We had some larvae, we had boy, she came right at my mouth. We had capped brood, we had, we didn't have any pupa yet, but other than under the caps, but we didn't have anything getting ready to be capped. Yeah. But anyway, so we definitely saw the evidence of the queen. She's in there, she's laying. She's not laying like it's spring or getting ready for spring, but she is laying like we're getting ready for winter. For those of you who do not know, in the realm of beekeeping, you aren't really working for the season that you are in. You are generally working 2 seasons out. So by the time spring comes, yes, we're getting ready for harvest and all that kind of stuff, but really what we're trying to do is get rid of the excess room for the bees, because they're getting ready to begin to decrease their own colony size to get ready for winter. In the winter time, you've already done all your preparation for winter, so now it's time to get ready for, spring and summer, because it's right around the corner. So every season that you work with bees, you work with them either for the next season at a minimum, but generally 2 seasons out is what you're trying to prepare for. What you looking for, Derek?
I didn't bring another vent or cap for that hole, so I had no way to feed or cover breeding. I didn't think.
Stick the jar back in there.
Okay,
Yeah. I mean, they're not taking it right now anyway, so that'll at least block that. Yeah. Oh, it did come out, yeah. They're just not taking it.
What scared me with that?
I
had a chicken water set up with the little rocks in it, little gravel.
Oh, you know why they may not be taking it, Derek?
Why is that?
Take your inner cover off. This works as your ventilated inner cover anyway.
They're taking it on the other hives with it on there.
Oh, okay.
This helps me when I go to take it out,
Yeah.
it's not a volcano. You see what I'm saying? Because most of the bees are still contained down in there. So
This knight is wearing a suit of shiny armor, and he's worried about them charging.
well, just if I'm over here quick feed changing
Yeah.
real quick, it's just so much easier for me to pop that off, and most of the bees are still contained down low, I've noticed. But when I tried to run it when it was hot over in the sun, bright sun,
Yeah.
I had it on there. When I took it off, even with some smoke, sometimes they still came out, and then
Yeah.
it made it hard getting that lid put back on.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I've noticed with the inner cover on, they come up
It
there to
prevents
feed
that
a
at
little
least.
bit, but they
Sure.
don't ever really volcano out of
Well,
it.
and you'll notice that, you know, even when we're working in the hive, if they're getting a little volatile with us, we'll put that inner cover on. And usually that will help them, you know, in a decrease in their feeling of threat.
Right.
Just having that extra lid on there. So, yeah, there's a precedent for it.
Now, I took and mixed up some Crisco, or just some vegetable oil, cinnamon, and peppermint, and painted the edges of all this stuff to try to keep these ants from this wood line
Ants and stuff, yeah. So
out
Dad
of
and I
it.
were just talking about, you know, because of the hive beetles and all that kind of stuff.
I'm
We were
not-
just talking about some diatomaceous earth.
I even tried to put it right there, where just on my right here on my
Yeah,
The wood touched the floor before to try to deter
just to see.
I did it on the hive stand at home, and it really seemed to keep the ants off of it, because I had a trail of ants one morning going up into this lid.
Yeah. So that being said, that's what he's talking about is, you know, we've come out to a couple of our hives and we have found some ants, some of them all the way up into the hive, which is really frustrating. And so we're always just looking for different ways for us to non-chemically treat for ants or other pests. Right now you saw inside the hive that we've got some hive beetles. Now we've got the traps that are set for them. We may come along. By the way, I don't know if you knew this or not, but we can use Derek. We can use the dryer, the dryer sheets.
Yeah.
The Swiffer sheets or whatever they're called.
That online.
Yeah, not dryer sheets, but the Swiffer
Swiffer
sheets.
sheets,
Yeah, so we've got some actually in Dad's truck, and so we cut parts of that off. We'll put that down in there. The bees can walk across it without actually getting caught up in the cloth, but the beetles will get down into it, and then they get trapped. So it kind of acts like a spider's web basically for them. And so that's another way for us to actually combat the hive beetles, even with the traps in there this season. Especially, I mean, we're in the shade, you know. I mean, it's nice for us to be able to get out here and work in the shade, especially on days when it starts to get really, really hot. Right now it's 70s, but you know, it's going to be climbing. So if we're out here on a hot day, being in the shade is really nice. But it's the same for the hive beetles. They like being in the shade. So you know, we have diminishing returns. But so anyway, we have to really combat the hive beetles. And so we were talking about maybe some diatomaceous earth.
Yep.
And I had to explain, by the way, for those of you who watched a previous video, I'm going to go ahead and explain it now live. We were out here doing a video the other day having a little bit of fun. It was a dead hive, but it had a ton of hive beetles in it. And so when Derek picked up the Nook Super, there were a bunch of beetles on the ground. Well, he just happened to have his torch, and so he torched them. That is not how we actually combat the hive beetle. That is how a couple of unsupervised men in their 40s behave. But in our defense,
Hey, those are a danger to the bees.
yes, and in our defense, we were unsupervised. So, right? I mean,
right.
yeah. So torching hive beetles, it was fun, but that's not how we actually handle them. As beekeepers, we do.
And it was a lot funner than slimy frames.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so yeah, we had a little bit of fun while we were out here, but please understand that's not actually how we do beekeeping.
No,
that
no,
is
no.
how that was how we dealt with a pile of stuff that was over there. Yeah, and we didn't want them to spread. We didn't have any chemicals or diatomaceous earth or anything like that that would prevent the spread. So we went ahead and dealt with them that way. Sorry about that. I had an ant on my leg. Anyway, so we're always looking for different ways to be able to deal with pests of one variety or another. You know, you get up to Alaska, they're dealing with grizzly bears at their beehives.
Yeah.
We're not. We're dealing with ants and hive beetles, varroa mites. That was the other thing in my last video, or our last video, we talked about the VHS queen bee. It's VSH. So she's a varroa sensitive hygienic. or hygiene. And so what that means is that they actually clean each other off. So they will, whether it's dust or dirt or, you know, whatever the case is, in this case it's the varroa mite they'll find. They'll chomp bits of the varroa mite out so that it'll actually bleed out. Then they just drop the thing on the floor. We have screen bottom boards, so they usually just fall through. So even if they don't bite the varroa when it gets pulled off, it will drop through the floor of our beehives and then just land on the ground and not be able to get back up into the hive. What'd you see? Oh, the weight? Well, now you know you have 2 cinder blocks on top. Take
that one.
take the cinder blocks off. Anyway, so that's just, I wanted to get you guys caught up. So it's not VHS. That's what we used to rent from Blockbuster for those of us who are old enough to be in the know. And then the VSH is Varroa Sensitive Hygienics, okay? And so those queens are actually bred specifically for that quality. And she, of course, then gives that genetics to, or those genetics to her offspring. And so that helps us combat the ever-present varroa mite. We have a 0 count right now, but we are very diligent, and we don't ever like to think that, hey, we've beaten varroa, because the moment you let up, they're right back in. So you're always looking for ways. VSH is a great way for us to be able to do that. Anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and call it. We've got a little bit of side stuff that we're going to do around here. I think Derek's about to stick his stick your head in there. Yes. All right. So
have a wonderful weekend.
He's either going to work honeybees or walk on the moon. We're not sure yet.
Not sure yet.
Y'all have a great day. See you now.
I don't think I needed all this.